Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Guys, I don't know what is up with StreamYard right now, but it keeps muting me whenever the show starts. This is not something that used to happen. It's so strange. Anyway, listen, what I was saying was I don't know how I always manage to be exactly 9 or 10 minutes late for this show. No matter what I do, it's always exactly that, anywhere from 5 to like 9 or 10 minutes late. Sorry about that. I just came back from walking my girl. We had our little afternoon stroll. I've been waiting for this package all day. It's holding me hostage. Like, I made this Black Friday order, an early Black Friday order, and it got broken up into 3 deliveries. So I'm waiting on the final one. And then I had ordered some skincare products from this company that never actually tries to deliver to your house. They always deliver to like one of those pickup points, and it's far, even though they take your address and swear they're going to deliver to your house. Anyway, let's see who we've got joining us for today's episode of the Morning Report. We've got a lot to get into. I'm especially looking forward to talking to you guys about the Kenelle story, Mia getting arrested. And you know what? Let's get into the Mia getting arrested, like real quick. You know, obviously I'm not going to get into the story yet, but I just want to say thank you, Mia, for giving me the opportunity to use one of my all-time favorite Dr. Wendy quotes. How embarrassing. Wasn't Mia just chastising Dr. Wendy not too long ago when Dr. Wendy got arrested? How quickly the turntables and turn. Anyway, let's see who we've got joining us for today's episode of the show. We've got Gala. Good morning, Gala, per usual. So nice to see you again. She said she's going to be watching Wicked for good. Please let me know how it is. I saw another promo clip from Cynthia and Ariana acting very strangely. And I don't know why, but them being the weirder they get, the more intrigued I am, even though I do not like Wicked. Good morning, Tamara. Nice to see you. Good morning, Jamie, as well. And I'm excited to get into it too. So stay tuned. It's coming up really, really soon. Good morning, Gwen, Becky, Venetia, as well. I'm so happy that you're healed and ready to go running, Gwen. That is amazing. What an amazing, amazing, amazing hobby to have. Good morning to you as well, Winnie the Cat. Good morning to Kelly. Kelly, shout out to you again for being our informant yesterday. That was so awesome. We've got more videos, body cam videos from the cops that actually are going to back up the story that your friend had said as well. Winnie the Cat says, Kenelle was talking to LB during a live a couple days ago. She said they're about to repo his shed, but all it has in it is trash. And I mean actual trash, not David himself. From her Twitter, she also said that like he didn't own, like the whole repo thing is that he was renting to own the shed, which is very, very strange to me. I don't understand the entire thing. David and his finances are a very, very fascinating subject. I'm really curious to know, what kind of mentality he has going into some of these things that he, puts his money into. Good morning, Kahara. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Caroline, Kalia, Summer Breeze as well. 2 Snaps is here. It never gets old doing the little 2 snaps for my 2 snaps. Good morning, Ashley, as well. Ray, Deshauna is here too. Angie's back as well. So nice to have y'all here. And good. Oh, Melissa says it's her birthday. Yes. Hi, LaShonda, Allie. Oh my God. Hi, Latasha. Wow. Okay. Listen. And hi, Stacy from Australia. So nice to see you. Guys, we're starting off the morning report with a birthday. It is Melissa's birthday. We've got another cut off Scorpio in our midst. Tomorrow is the deadline, y'all. And Melissa just squeaked ahead of that deadline. You love to see it. Happy birthday to you, Melissa. What are you going to be doing to celebrate your big day? Guys, please join me in wishing our darling Melissa a happy birthday. Hit it.
Happy birthday to birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
The birthday song. It is always so great when you guys pop on here to share your birthdays with us. So again, thank you, Melissa, for sharing your birthday with us today. I got to watch some of the playback from yesterday's episode of the show, and Jenna and what are their names? Jenna Martin, and then there's her mom. I totally misread it when I thought she said that it was Jenna's birthday yesterday, but she said no, Jenna just felt like she was old for whatever reason, because she's only 38, and a different co-reporter, it was Shemjem, turned 32 or something like that. And I totally misread it and thought that it was Jenna's birthday. It was a funny little thing that happened yesterday, by the way, you guys. And thank y'all so much for wishing our Melissa a happy birthday. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you, Allie. I hope everything turns out okay. That is really, really scary. It's not a good place to be. And I am hoping for the best for you. And thank y'all so much for the love on this green sweater of mine. Good morning, Shantae. Work from home and morning report. Whoop, whoop. Love it. And good morning to you, Jaleesa. Jaleesa, are you coming home from work right now as well? Guys, I can't believe it's not Friday yet, but I'm still happy that we've got some more show in the tank. So why don't we jump into our first story? We're going to look at the CEO for a minute. Look at the CEO. Look at the CEO, y'all. Real Housewives of Potomac is turning into Real Housewives of the Penitentiary, Real Housewives of the prison system, because what the heck is actually going on? I was quite baffled when I saw the news that Mia Thornton was arrested for allegedly stealing furniture from her landlord. Guards! Bring her out. Absolutely insane. Listen, when I found out that Wendy and Eddie got arrested, I was shocked because I didn't think that they were the criminal type, right? I would never in a million years would have imagined them getting arrested. But when it comes to Mia, it's okay, that's the vibe that she gives off anyway. And her lifestyle and her money situation and all that stuff has always seemed rather sketchy. So I was not surprised that she was arrested, right? I am surprised, however, at the amount of Housewives of Potomac getting arrested. We had Karen, then we had Wendy, and now here we are with Mia as well. And this Mia story is absolutely ridiculous, almost as ridiculous as the Wendy one. In fact, I'm going to throw a mic check to you guys afterwards so that we can vote on whose arrest and criminal situation is worse between Mia and Wendy's, because they both sound, absolutely insane and kind of dumb. Sorry, not sorry, in terms of what it was that they were doing to get arrested in the first place. So Mia Thornton was arrested in Atlanta and charged with grand larceny. The cops are saying that she's accused of stealing $11,000 worth of furniture from a furnished condo that she was renting. So the reason she was arrested in Atlanta, in case y'all forgot, is because she moved to Atlanta when she was dating DJ Juicebox, or Apple Juice, or whatever he was called by the lovely Grand Dame. And I gotta ask you guys, did she go to BravoCon? Was she on her way to BravoCon? Was she on her way back from BravoCon? I actually don't remember seeing anything about her. I saw that, Robin was over there at BravoCon despite getting fired from the show a couple of seasons back. So I wouldn't be surprised if they invited Mia as well. It's just, I have no idea about that. So basically what went down, and I have the video, the body cam footage from the cops as well. They were searching for Mia Thornton because she recently moved out of a furnished rental like a thief in the middle of the night on October 28th and took furniture, including a television, with her. So the owner of the condo filed a report with the police through a friend on November 6th, saying that Mia Thornton did exactly that. She snuck out of the house early without even, posting notice. I wonder if it was an issue of finances. Was Mia unable to continue keeping up with the rental payments of that property? And she decided to leave without giving proper notice, and to, listen, maybe she's from around the way. She's leaving here with something, and she decided to take some of that furniture as the something. What a mess this lady is. Take a look at the body cam footage, and we'll talk more about it on the flip side. Okay, you guys?
Ms. Thornton, you ready? How you doing? I'm Officer Hunt, City of Atlanta Police. You know you have a warrant, correct? Okay. You know what it's for? Cool. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is I'll take you back to our precinct, finish doing my paperwork, and once that's done, you have a cell phone?
No, I sent it.
Okay. So we'll go back to the precinct. I'll do my paperwork, and once that's done, then I'm going to transport you to Thornton County.
Okay.
So we just have a holding cells. We don't have like jail, just holding cells in our precinct. Okay?
Okay.
If you want to, you can throw your shoes on. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Go on there for me real fast. Thank you. You want your hands? Excuse me. You want your hands? Hold on. Relax for a second. Relax. You want your hands this way, or you want your hands turn inside like you're praying? You want this way? What's your way more comfortable? Okay. Let's. Okay. All right. That's fine. We'll go that way. I'm gonna lock them so they don't move on you, okay? When you get to the holding cell, I'll take them back off for you so you can relax a little bit, all right?
Did you by any chance share that information before me?
Pardon me?
I didn't go, I just had somebody else go out there and give them the paperwork.
Is it possible to like call him? He has the storage key.
That's the way I have, I mean,
Where is he still in the airport?
nah, you probably left it.
Yeah, we'll where's Miss Call?
Yeah, I just want him to go put that furniture back. Like, this is enough is enough. Like, I have several emails from my roommate telling me to put it back. It's ridiculous. So,
All right, go. Just follow me. Get the keys to the cell. Thank you. Just stand around, take those clothes back off, or you can sit back down and relax for a second. So just give me about 30 minutes. Get the paperwork ready. We'll get to go, okay? I'll let you make that call in a second, too, okay?
Goodness gracious, how embarrassing is that? What are you doing at the airport when you know, as she told the cop, that there are warrants out for your arrest, girl? What are you doing? That is absolutely insane. And that must have really ruined her travel plans. Wasted ticket. And for what? She should have handled this with her former landlord. All she had to do, really, in my opinion, was to return that furniture. Right? Like, okay, so she left the unit without giving proper notice, whatever. You're not going to go to jail for that. However, stealing furniture is absolutely going to land you in jail. So why don't you just work it out with the landlord, return the furniture, and then hopefully the landlord would have dropped the case. Although I still believe that there would have been some sort of case for the fact that you stole the furniture in the first place, allegedly. Latasha says, should have been Michael. Isn't it crazy? Everybody in the DMV, right, on the Housewives of Potomac is getting arrested except for the OG alleged criminal himself, Michael Gropey Garby. Darby, I should say, sorry. It is insane that he hasn't gotten caught up yet. I remember that there were criminal charges, a criminal complaint actually filed against him. I don't know if he was ever formally charged, but there was a lot of legal stuff involving him, but he managed to dodge it every single time. Was he paying people off? Not sure, but it is very interesting. East Awesome says, Mia's body cam footage is very telling. Thornton was picked up in the airport and was aware she had an active warrant. Make that make sense. I'm telling you. And you guys, East Awesome wants Wendy to be free, but wants Mia to be locked up. I guess we know who your favorite housewife is, East, don't we? T-Snap says, her mugshot is very pretty. Listen, let's put it up. Let's put up that mugshot of Mia Thornton. I can't hate. I can't disagree. That is indeed a very, very beautiful photo. She was serving face in her mugshot. And, you know, speaking of photos, there's this photo here where she's sitting alone in the cell. I'm going to take down this comment so you guys can see it. Does it remind everybody else of that meme of that like Disney Channel young actress like Sky something? Like, I feel like that should turn into a meme of some sort because it is absolutely hilarious. Ali says, from running businesses to running the prison yard. Yep. Big mama over here. She is running those prison yards. I will say, though, I think that the cop said at the very end that he was just going to do the paperwork and let her out immediately. So that was lucky of Mia. Maybe she actually was able to catch that flight after all. Kalia says she did that ish on purpose and got caught with the quickness. But why would you do that? Like, what do you think is going to happen when you steal things from people, Mia? And your name is on the lease of the apartment. They knew it was you. There's no breaking and entering. It was the tenant who left in the middle of the night without notice. Obviously, that would take the furniture with her, right? That's crazy. Two Snaps thinks the cop has a crush on Mia. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that video because I didn't catch that vibe. That's so funny. Kelly says Campfire covered this yesterday, and an attorney called in to say that Mia was dry snitching on Gordon. So I learned a new term. Is that what? Yeah, like she kept on mentioning, oh, like there's emails. Can I call him? Like I didn't get to make out everything it was that Mia was saying. So I actually initially thought that she was talking about like her boyfriend of the moment. I forgot the name of the guy she's dating. It's not Keith Sweat, is it? I don't know who it is. But I thought that that's who she's talking about. Like, oh, like there's just these things like he's over there on the other side. Like, can I call him? Blah, blah. But damn, not her dry snitching on Gordon. What does Gordon have to do with anything? Like Gordon, isn't he back in like Potomac, Maryland? Becky says, did she say she was going to give it back now? LOL, rich people think they are immune to rules, right? What is that? Like, it's a nice effort and gesture, but it's too late. The fact that you've already stolen that stuff is bad enough. And, you know, whether you give it back or not at this point, like you already stole it and those charges are sticking, right? Oh, okay. Thank you, Allie. She said that G had the key to the storage unit. Okay, but did he know that that's what his storage unit was being used for? And what are you doing stealing furniture if you're not even going to use it? At least put it in your house. Like, what do you mean you're putting stolen furniture in a storage unit? Just use the stuff. And then let the cops arrest you on it. You know, thanks, LaShonda. Oh, I love your photo. Very pretty. She was dating Bobby Valentino. Oh, that's who it is. She likes them short, doesn't she? Good morning, Angela. Nice to see you again. Francine's back. Hi, Francine. She also saw Campire's recap with the attorney who called in as well. Two Snap says the alleged man Mia was with is Jared McGriff, whoever he is. Oh, so is it over with Bobby Valentino already? One thing about Mia is she is not staying single for long. She's got things to do. She's got coochie to pop. And she got to find a peen to pop it on. So she's going to find that, y'all. And you know what? Hell yeah. Go for it, girl. I don't know. I might want to break things up a little bit because next on the agenda, I had another housewife story. And you know what? I am actually kind of like nuts. I forgot to get a picture of the housewife that I wanted to bring up. So instead of getting into that housewife story next, what I actually wanted to do, which was what I was thinking of anyway, is getting into the Kenelle story because that story just pisses me off. Guys, I think that sometimes, like in life, there are women who actually do not like other women, are not aligned with other women, but they're going to run and hide behind feminism and the work that actual feminists and like girls put in to protect one another, to protect themselves when their foolishness blows up in their face, right? So this woman willingly chose to get into a relationship with David Eason. She knew who David Eason was. His mugshots and everything were on the internet. Videos of him allegedly abusing women, children, and animals were on the internet. She saw all this and still decided to not only date him, but move him into her home with her animals and the animals of other people that she was responsible for as a dog walker or whatever it is that she does as a side hustle, right? I personally think that her motive in doing all of this was fame. I think she's a Teen Mom fan. I think she thought that getting with David would get her some level of notoriety, even if he's not a good person, even if it's at the risk of her own life. That's what I thought about her, right? And that's how I feel about her, actually, to this day, despite what it is that she's trying to sell on Twitter. Mind you, she doesn't even need to keep talking about David. And that's what further proves this to me personally. Like, girl, it's over. Move on in private, but you don't want to because you know that talking about David Eason and by proxy Kenelle and, bringing Kenelle into all this stuff brings eyes to your page and puts money in your pocket. This is something that she recently admitted to on TikTok when she was sharing screenshots of text message exchanges between she and David as well, right? So I really think that this is a clout chaser with a bird brain at the end of the day. Again, she did not care that David had a long history of being violent against women, against children, and against animals. She did not care that David was very proudly, publicly racist, homophobic, sexist, and just hateful in general. She does not give an ish. However, now that the leopard ate her face, here she is playing victim on the internet. And, she wasn't 18, 16, 12 years old when she got with this man. She's a grown woman. What is she, like 27 years old or something like that? When she chose to ignore all of this willfully for the sake of chasing clout. Right. So she said she wanted to do an Ask Me Anything on Twitter. Again, who does this besides somebody who's looking for attention? Right. And that's who this person is. So some of the questions that people asked her on her Twitter page included, do you still communicate with Marissa? To which Kenelle responded, unfortunately, no. He has everyone in his circle manipulated. Girl, what are you talking about? That is his daughter. She was not your stepdaughter. She was never your stepdaughter. You and him were in a relationship for what, like a year, a little bit over a year. Marissa never lived with you. Why would you still need to be in contact with his daughter? I don't think it's manipulation for his daughter, to not really have an interest in you, somebody that she barely knows and probably has barely seen, because Marissa, barely sees David. So where would your opportunity to build a relationship with Marissa even be? And, on what planet is that even something to expect in this kind of a situation? Chris, another user, then asked her honest question. How was a smart woman like yourself, well, Chris, smart woman where, duped by such a piece of ish? Again, you guys are doing too much to give this woman the benefit of the doubt. First of all, she's not a smart woman, obviously. Second of all, she was not duped. She made the conscious, voluntary decision to date a man that she knew categorically was racist, sexist, homophobic, and violent towards women, children, and animals. She did not care about any of that because she wanted some TikTok fame, some Twitter fame, some whatever out of this situation. To which she responds, his expert level manipulation and me having a big heart. This is not expert level manipulation. I'm sorry. I do not believe for a sole second that David manipulated her. And I'm not believing this big heart thing. If you had a big heart in the first place, you would have never looked twice at a man like David, knowing what you know about him. A person with a big heart is not going to go and date a raging, hateful person like David Eason. A person with a big heart is not going to date somebody who she knows has no contact with his own children and couldn't care less about seeing his own children. A person with a big heart is not going to go and date somebody who has a history of being violent towards women, animal, and children. No, I'm not buying what she's selling. I'm sorry. I know some people are, but I'm just not. It feels as though she's really truly trying to play the victim here in order to shirk any kind of responsibility for her choice. She was warned several times. She has access to the internet, just like you and I have access to the internet. She knew everything about David Eason and proceeded anyway. She saw the videos. She saw the lawsuits. She knew he had like no contact with pretty much any of his kids, and she did it anyway. Stop it. The next comment or questions were, what are your actual thoughts about him harming animals, especially the one he deleted? Loving animals as much as you do, or as much as you claim you do, right? Obviously, you don't enough if you would bring this person around your home, around your animals. Genuinely curious how you processed that, what he told you about it, and how you were able to even slightly look past that or trust him around your dog. To which Kenelle responds, I think that dynamic in that household was very chaotic. Some people shouldn't own animals if you can dedicate time to training them or teaching kids how to be around them. I think that played a large role in what happened. But again, I wasn't there. So there she is, excusing David Eason. David Eason had no reason or business shooting Nugget, a 10-pound dog who did nothing to harm his daughter. He could have shut that down. He could have taught his daughter not to get in the dog's face. He could have taught the dog not to nip or whatever, or to bark or whatever in her face. But he had no reason to go and shoot that dog. But here she is excusing it, just like she excused every other terrible thing that she knew David Eason did and stood for. At the end of the day, I don't think she's that different from David in terms of the way that she views the world, or Kenelle in terms of, you know, who she is as a person, whether or not she's a trashy person or not, because this is absolutely insane that she is excusing David Eason for shooting that 10-pound dog for quite literally no reason. The excuse here is that house is chaotic. The dog should have been trained. Okay, the dog wasn't trained in a chaotic house. So instead of organizing this house, bringing order to this house, and training the dog, let's shoot it. This is somebody who is paid to board people's animals. That is absolutely insane, Kenelle. Absolutely insane. Next comment. Did you really lose your job over him? If so, why? What happened with your employer because of him? And did you find another job? To which she responds, yes, I lost my office manager position because the owner didn't want TMZ showing up to work. I found a new job where people know about who I dated and they do not care. I'd rather work for an employer who only cares about my work performance instead of my outside life. Well, listen, when you're dating somebody like David Eason, who is so toxic and so controlling and so jealous and so abusive and such a loser, that he has a documented history, which you know about because you're a Teen Mom fangirl, that's why you dated him, that he would show up to his wife's place of employment, threaten all the people working there to the point where they practically had restraining orders. They could not film this woman with him being around anywhere, and he would disrespect that by showing up anyway. Your boss is well within reason to fire you. Maybe the boss knew about David Eason beyond all of this stuff, right? And was a watcher of Teen Mom, you know, or something else, right? And knew what David used to do to terrorize the camera people, the producers and everybody on those Teen Mom sets. Maybe they saw that this is a psycho, an unhinged weirdo who shows up to his partner's work events with knives, slashing balloons close to people to the point where he could be slashing people. Maybe this person knew that David shows up, threatens everybody, right? Despite being told to stay away from his woman's place of employment. Like, there are so many reasons for this, or maybe they don't like what this stands for or what you dating David Eason says about you. Because again, when you choose to date somebody who is very out and proud of being racist, sexist, homophobic, hateful in general, or who does not care and makes no apology for the fact that they shot their family dog and have deleted several family animals, including chicks, a goat, all sorts of things, or who was unapologetic about the fact that he allegedly strangled his ex-stepson, a child, it says a lot about you, Kenelle, and people do not want to associate with people like you who are willing to look past all of that. And they do not want for their businesses to be associated with people like you. Again, she's trying to play the victim, but she is not the victim in that situation. Trish says, what kind of BS did that woman, child, and animal abusing a-hole spew to make you ignore his past and give him a chance? I'm being sincere because I was in a similar situation when I was a bit younger than you. So she says, love bombing and manipulation. He's expert level. Somebody else asked, did you think you could change him? She said, yes. Again, I think she's playing to an audience of people. Sorry, let me get a sip of my water. An audience of very nice girls who want to believe that this is true and this is authentic, but I do not believe a single word of it. She aligned herself with all of David Eason's hateful beliefs and all of his violent actions towards vulnerable people and animals. And that's just what it is, in my personal opinion. I don't think somebody with such a public record is able to manipulate and love bomb you. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think that, people get love bombed and manipulated by bad people, but they don't know that these people are bad people. They don't have this long documented history and whatnot, right? Like there was really nothing worth dating in David Eason. David Eason was squatting on his ex-wife's boat, brushing his teeth in the McDonald's bathroom when she met him. Like, let's be so effing for real. I think she saw it as some sort of an investment in the future. Maybe he'll be back on reality TV. Maybe I could be on reality TV with him. Maybe this could make my social media pop off. Listen, a lot of the people these days, right? Social media has rotted their brains to the point where they're willing to do quite literally anything for clout. How often are you seeing people on social media getting arrested for dumb things they're doing for social media clout? Who's to say that she is above dating somebody for social media clout? I really think that that's what it is. She was willing to look past everything for this and to fast forward this relationship with a total deadbeat who had nothing, quite literally nothing to offer. Allie says, one of my coworkers is messing with a man like that. I will never get it. Hurts. Cats, and spent time in jail for 3 counts of attempted deletion. Like, what is this? Like, and you know that, she knows that, yet she ignores that. So to her, it's not a big deal. None of this stuff is a big deal. So what are her values? The values are not much different from this man's values, but she's going to be crying when he turns around and, racks up a 4th count of attempted deletion, with her being the 4th one he attempts, right? Come on now. When he says, for someone afraid and needing an RO against this man, she sure is quick to poke the bear. She keeps on talking about him because at the end of the day, this is about social media fame to her. She is only relevant to the teen mom audience so long as she talks about David Eason. And that has always been the goal. And she's not going to stop based off of that. This kind of reminds me of, do you guys remember the girl who blew the lid off of Kaylin and Elijah's relationship? She was on that cruise with Elijah. Elijah got caught cheating with her or something like that. She had all these videos of him and his I think a relative of his brother or something like that, following her around, and her friend coming into their cruise room and everything, dancing with them. Like, that girl, for a while, she had a lot of engagement on her TikTok because she was constantly talking about Elijah and constantly hinting at Kale and this situation. But as soon as she stopped, the views plummeted. And I think that is something that Kenelle knows and sees, and she doesn't want to have happen to her. So she is going to drag this out for as long as she can. Two Snap says, my goodness, all those mugshots. This explains why some women are infatuated with serial deleters. Exactly. Some women are infatuated by these types of people, right? Maybe she's one of them. I don't know. Jamie says, wow, for a woman to do that is disrespectful to herself and to put your life in danger. Nah, girl got mental issues. Saying. Woody the Cat says they were gym buddies. Oh, what gym was David Eason stepping foot in? Oh my God, I know that place reeked. Ali says, I bet he has more mugshots than years he spent in school, period. You know he does. Let me put up his wall of mugshots again. Like, how does somebody explain all of this away, all the video footage, all the court documents you could read for yourself, all the convictions, even if the person has a clean criminal record, just the fact that he is broke and squatting on his ex's boat, brushing his teeth in the McDonald's bathroom should be enough for you to be like, you know what, this man is not in the right place to be dating. I'm just saying, like, a certain like minimum level of standards, right? But when social media fame is on the line, a lot of people are willing to overlook a lot of things. When he says, and she assisted in the gaslighting of Jace and the deleting of the animals, right? And that's something that Janelle did too. Like that era was terrible for Jace. Remember when Janelle made that like Instagram tribute post to David with all those photos of them hugging and kissing, talking about how amazing David is and how this and how that and how he protected them from the family and whatnot. Like, to have that from your mom and then the attacker's new girlfriend later, also contributing to this like image online about you being this terrible person who deserved for this to happen to them as a child and whatnot. Like, come on. That was a really, really bad time. And I'm really hoping that justice is served for Jace eventually, right? And I think she ignored answering some questions about that Jace situation in this Ask Me Anything. We saw the way she responded in regards to David shooting Nugget, the dog, and she excused it. She said, you listen, it's no big deal. That house was chaotic. The dog was undisciplined. Take it out back. Shoot it in front of the kids. Like, that's insane, right? Absolutely insane. I'm saying. And that's the thing, Gwen. Why didn't she believe all of these other testimonies? Other women were already very, very, very open about their experiences with David Eason. The mugshots told the stories. She didn't believe that. Well, I think she did. Again, I think she did. I think she knew that this was a risk and that this was a risk that she was willing to take because I believe that she wants to be some kind of like massive social media influencer. Shelby says, you always want to believe the best in people and trust what they tell you. But in this case, his life is public and you can fact check and know he's a liar. Exactly. She's got at least 2 brain cells. And if you've got 2 brain cells and you have all this information publicly available to you, there is no excuse for getting with this person at all. This is not a case of a dirty John or something like that, where somebody portrays themselves one way, you have no way of knowing or verifying, and it seems real. No, this is her going eyes wide shut into dating this person. And even taking the violence aside, the hateful, disgusting things that David has said about every single group out there, including women, she knew these things and she chose to ignore them. Sorry. Come on. I'm having a hard time with this one. I'm not falling for her stuff. Becky says, these are the kinds of reads that make people, oh, thanks, Becky. She had all this info that most people don't have the luxury to have before entering into a relationship. Exactly. He's not a master manipulator. You just thought that your quest for social media fame was worth the risk that came with being with David Eason. Gwen says, not Kenelle blaming Janelle. LOL. She better get some therapy before she has a baby with the next guy. Listen, please, this lady, I would be scared of her having kids, because imagine she has a kid with somebody and they break up and then they see another person with a similar profile to David Eason, right? Just complete trash, complete danger, all that stuff. And she ignores it again. Brings this man into her house very quickly. Didn't she move David in within a month or something like that? This lady would be a very, very dangerous parent. So please, for the love of God, do not reproduce. Come on. Exactly what Nathan had. She was like a star on Teen Mom 2. Love her or hate her, she made that show. She is the reason that Teen Mom 2 was as successful as it was. And even they were willing to cut her because they could not handle David Eason. David Eason was a massive threat. He made grown men scared, dude. Like, come on, right? It's so much information. It is. It's just, I didn't know. It was all out there. Videos of him speaking to people this way, videos of him slashing a knife around were out there. All that stuff was out there. Good morning, Ronnie. Nice to see you. Melissa made me laugh so hard. She said, I would not hire David to scoop my litter box. Not me picturing a human with a litter box. I hope you mean for your cat, not for yourself. And yeah, apparently, and yes, David was he was always threatening people. He was such a violent person. I'm just saying. Come on now. Come on. my fiddle for Kenelle. Exactly. You know, and again, she is sharing this stuff online for engagement. She shared as much just the other day when she was posting those videos on TikTok about her text messages with him and her trying to get him to take his stuff off her property. That she said, oh, well, I'm sharing this for like the money or something like that on the TikTok. Well, there you go. When you live and worship the mighty dollar. These are the situations you find yourself in. Gwen says, so if we leave the pygmies to their foolishness, women could exchange information, choose better, and end the bloodlines of guys like David. I'm telling you, like, how the hell did he get so many women to procreate with him? It's scary. And I wouldn't be surprised if you managed to get another one too down the line. And I agree. Gossip is so damn important. Ooh, I have a delivery. Hang on, you guys. I'll be right back. I have a word from some sponsors.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running.
Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback, assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today.
Okay, I'm back, y'all. Yes, I told you guys at the top of this episode I was being held hostage by a delivery I was waiting for, and it's finally here. I'm really happy about that. Anyway, y'all, listen, let's get over that Kenelle story. I'm very much over her and all the milking that she's doing of the situation. Can I ask you guys, actually, I think I had a poll that I wanted. Anyway, I forgot about it. It was for the Mia story, but should we get into the Porsha story next, or should we get into Megan King Edmonds losing custody of her children? That story is absolutely wild. Otherwise, the Porsha story is body cam footage of Porsha, the woman that she was in the altercation on the plane with, and the witnesses corroborating Porsha's innocence in that exchange. So let me go ahead and get into you guys' comments and see what you have to say about it, okay? Where should I put this? I'm gonna put this down here. Let's see. Exactly, East Awesome. It looks like she is. Once again, shout out to Kelly for the scoop that she came over here with for us yesterday. It looks like all of that was corroborated. Monica, I haven't seen you in a while, girl. How are you doing, Monica? And Monica's an OG. She's been here for years. Nice to see you again. All right, but why don't we do this? Let's get into the Megan King Edmonds story, because that one is absolutely wild. Listen, Megan King, I remember watching her on The Real Housewives of Orange County, trying really hard to convince her then husband, Jim Edmonds, to have kids with her. Right? Like, he was always away for work. He went from being a professional baseball player to being a massive sports commentator and all sorts of other business things that he was doing. So he wasn't really home as much as she would have liked for him to be home. And she was begging him for kids. He didn't really want to have kids because he already had kids and they were much older, all this stuff. And she wound up winning. They went through IVF. They suffered a loss, but then they ultimately wound up having 3 children. And from what I understand, one of their children is special needs. But otherwise, they seem to be doing rather well in school and whatnot. I do know that there is a snark subreddit for Megan King. I think maybe I used to like look at it like years ago, but I forgot it existed. And now I'm finding out that they were the first ones to have this information about Megan King losing custody of her kids. Right. And again, this is a shocking story because she's not somebody who just happened to fall pregnant. She worked hard. She spent years. She spent tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to get pregnant. So to go from that to allegedly neglecting your kids or kid to the point where you're losing custody, like that's absolutely insane to me. It's not something that I was expecting at all. So I'll get into the official version of events, and then I'll tell you about what they're saying on the Reddit about her. Okay. So Us Weekly came out with the first official mainstream scoop here, right? So they're saying that she lost custody of the 3 kids she shares with Jim following an investigation by Child Protective Services. Multiple sources told Us Magazine that the decision to strip Megan of physical custody was made in the past couple of months. She was, however, granted supervised visitation while her ex-husband, Jim, has sole physical custody of the children. And the source that they spoke to also said that the decision is temporary. Why did I pronounce it that way? Temporary. And that a hearing will be held on whether the custody arrangement will become permanent. Obviously, I imagine that Megan does not want for this to become permanent. Again, I really do think that she loves her kids. She worked, I hope she does, after all the, all the work that she put into having them and whatnot, right? So she still has time to fight this and rectify whatever it is that went wrong. So according to Us Weekly, a school employee called Child Protective Services about Megan, leading to the investigation that would ultimately cause her to lose custody of her children. There is a hearing scheduled to take place in early December, so literally just in like 2 weeks or so, to further determine custody matters. So this is where we're going to find out if it's going to be permanent or if it's going to stay temporary. So far, both her team and Jim's team are refusing to comment on the situation, which I think is smart on both ends. Their kids are 8 years old for the daughter, Aspen, and she also has twins, Hart and Hayes, who are 7 years old as well. This is not Megan's first run-in with the police and the legal system and whatnot. She actually had a restraining order on her by Jim's new wife, Courtney. And Courtney claims that there was a situation where the daughter Aspen needed a dress for some sort of event, and it was at Megan's house, and Megan had to come to Jim and Courtney's house to deliver the dress for the daughter. The daughter wasn't there. She was out with Jim, and Courtney told Megan as much, but Megan refused to believe her. So she started screaming in the house for her daughter, like, Aspen, Aspen. Courtney told her to leave. She refused. She entered the house somehow. And then when Courtney shooed her out of the house, she was at the doorway. She put her foot in the door, refusing to leave, all sorts of like craziness. I think the idea of her screaming the daughter's name in the house and stuff like that, knowing that she's not supposed to be in the house and that it wasn't her time, and that this lady told her that the daughter wasn't there, is very, very crazy and distressing. It would have been very distressing if the daughter was actually there to hear all of this. And so at the time of this incident going public, a source had told the magazine, quote, Megan is over this back and forth. She thinks it's ridiculous. It was a very simple interaction that didn't need police. She is unfazed because she doesn't want to escalate conflict. Megan just wants to take care of her family in peace. And she also said that Jim was emotionally abusive when she was talking to the police officers investigating the situation, to which Jim's representative had released the following statement to Us Magazine. Quote, as usual, Megan is telling tales. Her and Jim barely communicate. So if someone is emotionally abusing her, it's not Jim. Jim is an active and present father to all his children. The unfortunate part of all of this is that it's the kids who suffer the most. Jim has always been willing to co-parent in a respectful and productive way. However, Megan has yet to reciprocate. So the tensions are still high between the two of these people. So while the news outlet is saying that something happened at school, some kind of reporting was done, and it led to CPS being called and her losing temporary custody or custody temporarily, the Reddit streets are saying that what happened, and again, this is alleged, this is from the Reddit streets, Megan allegedly sent one of her kids to school with a controlled substance that was not prescribed to the children and told the school nurse to give this medication to the child. I don't know what that could have been if the story is true. A lot of people are speculating it could have been like Adderall, Ritalin, or something like that if the child has attention deficit issues or whatever. But again, these children are 8 and 7. I almost said 7 because they're twins, but 8 and 7. So it's a very, very delicate and touchy situation overall, let's just say. Kelly says, oh, this is about the Porsha story. Yes, your friend had that juice. She had that tea. Thanks, Monica. Thanks for showing love, even from the bushes, girl. Alex said, glad that that one housewife was not an embarrassment on a flight. Amen to that, especially after the stuff that we were hearing about the Housewives of Salt Lake City, particularly. Theo says, what the heck? Megan King Edmonds, I was rooting for you. I'm telling you, I'm actually really, really, really surprised about this. He also says she's one of the only liberal housewives from Orange County. Oh, damn. You know, I was so happy for her when she managed to get married to like a Biden nephew or something like that in the political family. And she had the president attend her wedding and stuff. So when that marriage lasted like 60 days, I was so shocked. I knew then that maybe there's something to what the people on Reddit say about her. They've been saying for years now that there's something off with her. So between that and now the situation with the kids, and allegedly her sending the kids to school, allegedly with some kind of controlled substance, like here, give it to the kid or whatever with no prescription or whatever. Like, that's crazy. And Shelby says it could have also potentially been some kind of CBD gummy. Yeah, I heard something about that too. But all this stuff is it's so crazy. Like, why would you be sending this stuff to give to your kid? If you think your kid needs this stuff, take it up with a pediatrician. Like, you can't just diagnose your child on your own and prescribe your own treatment for them. That is insane. Ali says, what did she do? Oh, well, so that's the tea. Word on the street is she sent the child to school with a controlled substance, told the school nurse to give it to them. So a lot of people are saying it could be Ritalin, it could be Vyvanse, it could be, what is that thing that people like to take for ADHD? Adderall. Shelby says it could have been CBD. Like, there's lots of possibilities of what exactly it could have been, if that is the reason why she lost custody in the first place. This is how am I just now noticing Megan looks like a lot like Brie Larson. Let me put that photo back up. Do y'all think so too, that Megan looks like Brie? I see what you're saying. Yeah. They definitely have the exact same smile as well, same nose and stuff. I see what you're seeing, Theo. Rip to Jim's top lip. Listen, it's been through a lot, East Awesome. Monica says, is she dumb? Why would she do that? I'm telling you, that is absolutely unhinged to be doing that. I wonder if there's some kind of like issue with her. Like, maybe there's some sort of imbalance going on. Maybe she's going through her own, I don't know, struggles or whatever, and she's lost touch with reality, in which case that is rather alarming. I'm going to tell you guys something. Speaking of something like that, I won't say a friend or a former friend of mine, but like somebody from my Ottawa days, in my blogger days, she was a very, very nice girl and everything. And to my surprise, she has since moved to Toronto. She got married. She had kids. To my surprise, I opened up my Instagram last week and I saw her going on all these like paranoid, hyper religious, like all sorts of like rants. And then she started going on rants against her family members, saying that her family members are all colluding against her. They're jealous of her. She's talking about her parents, her siblings. They're trying to take her kids from her, all that stuff. Sometimes, people can suffer mental breaks or something like that make them act out in different ways, right? That can impact their ability to be good parents and whatnot, right? And so I don't know if that's what's going on with Megan, but things like that do happen. And in my case, watching that play out live on social media, with a girl that I knew who seemed to be a perfectly lovely, well-adjusted girl. The last time I saw her, like, it's just, you really never know what's going on with people, chemically speaking, and so it's very sad and scary. I'm wondering if that's what's going on with Megan, between that, the erratic, like 60-day marriage and whatnot, all this like other stuff she's got going on. I really don't know. When he says she might have had a bipolar break, exactly. I don't know. Maybe Megan has her own mental health issues, and this is a result of that. Either way, very, very unfortunate. It really, really is. Listen, if you're chemically balanced, if you have your mental health in order, you are so lucky. You are luckier than a lot of people, and then on top of that, if you have your physical health in order too, you are so blessed. Do not take it for granted, truly, right? Because those are just such important things. And unfortunately, not everybody has that. And I'm afraid that might be the case here. It's very, very, very scary what's going on. Now, you guys, why don't we get into, is this our final story of the day? No, it's not. And listen, we're already at the hour mark. Let's get into the Porsha of it all. You know how she was recently in the headlines over some kind of airplane controversy? A lot of people, myself included, worried that, Kung Fu Porsha might have put the 1-2 combo on somebody in a plane. And now we've got definitive body cam footage from various witnesses there that Porsha may have been the victim in this situation, the victim of a Karen. I'm going to play the video featuring all the body cam footage for you guys, and we're going to talk about it on the flip side. Take a look at how that lady said she feared for her life. She thought Porsha was going to kill her. And then look at the difference between that and all the people who watched it go down. Karens, y'all, they are very dangerous. She actually very well could have gotten Porsha into some deep trouble with her damn lies. Get into it. Please continue leaving your comments in the live chat, and I will have them flashing on the screen, okay?
What happened?
So the lady who was sitting next to me, I was on my phone, and the volume was up on the phone. And she turned to me out of nowhere, and she said, "So you're going to make me listen to that the whole flight?" And I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No." And I
So
said,
you make you listen to what?
"Am I going to make her listen to my phone?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I said,
This is before we took off.
yes, even before we took off.
So you guys were in Las Vegas when that happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
The plane was on the ground?
Yes.
The door was shut? It was? Okay.
No, the door wasn't shut yet. People were still boarding.
People were still boarding?
But you
Oh,
were
okay.
texting me. When
Oh,
people
okay, I
were still
couldn't
boarding.
tell.
Okay.
Okay. So she was like, are you going to make me listen to that the whole time? And I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No." I said, "Well, it was a nicer way to say that." And she said, "Bitch, you don't tell me bitch." And I was like,
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just telling him what happened.
I'm so sorry.
And so it's all
If there's
right.
anything I can do to help
Yeah.
you.
You were sitting near us?
I was.
Yeah, I was just telling
I was
him.
there and I heard it was unreprehensible. The
Yeah.
woman got in your face and gave you the middle finger.
Yeah.
And was doing things that were completely kidding
She was.
you.
She started
I'm
screaming.
sorry. I'm embarrassed. I'm so
okay.
sorry.
It's all right.
That's why I'm asking if you're okay.
Yes, no, I
I wouldn't
appreciate
be.
it.
I wouldn't be okay.
I mean, I don't know what she's claiming she's gonna press charges saying and I hit her. I'm like, I did not hit you.
I mean, you want to continue? You want to continue, ma'am?
Sorry.
Can you excuse me?
Oh, okay. Can I get your information? You get her information as a witness?
Sure.
Yeah, please. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I was sitting 2 rows back. She did not touch
No,
me.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
You saw everything that happened?
Yes.
Yes.
The guy's
You wanna-
seat had his seat reclined before the flight even took off, and I saw the entire gap. She did not touch
You
me.
didn't touch her.
She screamed.
You hit me in my face. I can
I
tell
said,
you.
I
I
hit you
can
in
tell
your
you.
face.
She
Yeah.
did not. I could see her.
I can write my info down if you want.
Say,
Okay. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm not very good, sir, and you?
Good. I'm Officer Brumant. I work with the Atlanta Police Department.
Great.
So I heard about the incident that happened, but I haven't heard your side of the story.
Why
What's,
didn't we hear my side of the story first, sir?
well, I had another officer
Oh, okay. Well,
spoke to you, but I just want to hear it
and do you
personally.
think it's proper to me tell you the whole story where everybody's sitting around here, they can all hear it?
No, ma'am. If you want to be private,
I
just-
think we should be private,
Okay.
sir. This is an assault
okay.
matter.
You want to come over?
Yes.
It's
I sat in I was sitting in my seat. She was the last passenger to come on board. So when she came on board,
Atlanta, Georgia is in the eastern time zone.
she said, "I'm in that seat." I said, "No problem." I jumped up, got far away from her so she had plenty of room. She had to put stuff in the upstairs thing. I understand that. Took plenty of time. Sit back down. We never spoke other than that. And after about 25 minutes of her on Instagram, full blast, every time she would flip, because apparently it was from a loud place, I jumped because it was so loud. And so I waited 25 minutes, give her time, let her do whatever she needed to do. And then I said, "Am I going to have to listen to that the whole time?" And she said, "Do you like it?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, I don't like the way you asked me." I said, "Don't put this on me." And the next thing I know, there was a fingernail so close to my eye that I thought I was going to be physically attacked. She had her I don't want to do it to you, sir. She had her hands in my face, screaming, calling me crazy. On and on and on. So now the flight attendants can't come help me because they're strapped in for this takeoff. My phone is sitting against my leg on my lap. So I take it to video to try and protect myself. And as soon as I go like this, she takes her hand and goes like that and throws my phone. And everybody sees the phone go down the end of the whole airplane. And the flight attendant told me he saw her knock it out of my hand. And that's assault. And
So
I'm 70 years old.
So she actually knocked the phone off your
You're
hand?
damn right she did.
Okay.
I didn't drop it.
All right. All right.
But here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid she's going to have me killed.
So can you do me a favor? Can you write me a statement of what happened?
I certainly can. I have it written down in my phone.
Can you just jot it down on this bit of paper? You want to sit somewhere private over here?
There you guys go. Basically, the altercation began because Porsha was playing her music or her videos that she was watching on Instagram out loud. Listen. First of all, I think that lady is a massive liar. I think she's a massive exaggerator. And I think she's kind of crazy too. For her to say that she's scared for her life, she thinks that Porsha is going to kill her. Insane. It's ridiculous and it's dangerous what she's saying. However, Porsha did admit that she was sitting there on that plane watching videos, scrolling on by with the volume out loud, turned up. That is not something you're supposed to be doing on public transport. I cannot stand it when people do it on the metro or wherever. I've never seen anyone do that on a plane. It's just something we all know not to do. That is just very, in my opinion, is very tacky to do something like that. And it's very inconsiderate to do something like that. Porsha should not have done that. And then when the lady told her, oh, like, are you going to be doing that all this whole flight or whatever? And the Porsha says, oh, like, do you like it or do you want to listen to it? Like, Porsha again admitted to that. And then she admitted that she told the lady to ask her to like turn it down or to put on headphones in a nice way. I'm like, I'm sorry, I would have been rude too, because what the hell are you doing? You're a grown woman. You're like 40 something years old. What are you doing sitting there on a plane, listening to your videos out loud? Put on some damn headphones or turn off the volume. Like, you're grown, you know, to be respectful of other people's space, right? Now, with that being said, this lady exaggerated this entire ordeal. I do not believe that Porsha had her finger up in this lady's face or that she smacked her phone out of her hand. Nothing in that body cam footage led me to believe that she was telling the truth. The other people there who were frazzled on Porsha's behalf, they all said the same thing. That lady was the aggressor in the situation. And it is so creepy to me how people could be the aggressors in situations, then turn around, shed these crocodile tears, and make themselves look like total victims, right? And then the way that she was behaving with that cop, like, you want to talk to me in front of everybody, put me out. Like, she just has a really, really nasty disposition. She really does. Kelly saw her friend, by the way, in the video. Remember, Kelly called in yesterday because her friend was on that flight, saw everything go down, and she corroborated Porsha's version of events. And the first lady who came to check on Porsha, see if she's doing okay. I do think she was a Bravo fan. In fact, I think she was at BravoCon with Porsha, and that's why she lost her voice. I really do. Theo also said everybody's standing up for Porsha when the blogs and everyone jumped to the conclusion that Porsha started a mess. Listen, I did jump to the conclusion that Porsha started the mess because Porsha, I don't call her Kung Fu Porsha for nothing. One thing about her is she likes to fight. She is violent. She doesn't know how to control her emotions. So when I hear altercation in Porsha, I just know Porsha whips some ass. That's the reputation she has built for herself, right? But it is true that I now have to walk that back, and I have since yesterday, that she actually was the victim for once. in a physical or whatever kind of altercation. Ali says the lady looks dehydrated. East also says she's 100% MAGA. She wants the office at the airport. The way she was speaking to that man was so disrespectful, especially now knowing that she was the one in the wrong. Like the audacity is insane. Ronnie says all the people coming to Porsha's defense. Exactly. And did you notice the first lady who came, she's like, I'm so sorry that happened. That was just, I'm ashamed on that lady's behalf. Like she should have never treated you that way. And then the cop says, okay, tries to shoo her away and keep talking to Porsha. I'm glad. And I'm surprised because I don't think Porsha's a smart woman, right? But Porsha had the wherewithal to say, get her damn information. This is a witness, right? And that is what the cop should have been doing. Why was he trying to dismiss a literal witness while conducting an investigation? He should have been interested in hearing that woman's version of events as well. Clea says, I love that Porsha, thankfully. Yeah, exactly. It is so nice that those people stopped by, shared their own testimonies, because it would have been hard to track them down. They're in an airport. They're all getting off a flight, going to who knows where. Porsha, she lives in Atlanta, so she was stopping there, but who knows where those people live? Maybe they were from other states. Maybe they were from other countries. I don't know. And that Atlanta was just a connecting pit stop, and they were off to God knows where. The cops needed to act and react appropriately in that instance, and I think that they didn't. Exactly, Theo. No one backed her up. She is a liar, and she's a drama queen. I'm so disgusted that she said that she feared for her life. That is so pathetic of her to do, and it really shows her true colors. East Austin says, right, the mainstream, because your story is shaky. Ma'am, can you please stop lying? Period. Shelby says she's not claiming her for the white girls. I laughed so hard when she said that. Like, please, that is so ridiculous. But at the same time, it made me sad because people do these things, and other people pay for it with their lives, right? And that is a terrible, 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 terrible thing. And justice for Kung Fu Porsha, indeed. And that's what I'm thinking, Kalia. Like, she wasn't right to do that. If she had just respected the airspace, did not pollute the noise space or whatever with her videos, none of this would have happened. I hope she learned a lesson. You don't just sit there watching your damn videos or listening to your music on full blast or with the volume up. It's disrespectful and it pisses people off. And no, people aren't going to ask you nicely. Why the hell do I have to ask a grown-ass woman nicely to use her common freaking sense and turn off the volume of her videos or to wear some damn headphones? I would be rude about it too. Just saying. Kelly, I love that. Becky says, I think they're both rude. BS. Porsha shouldn't have been blasting her phone. That's rude. And I can picture Porsha asking her if she liked it. Exactly. Like, you like it? Like, girl, no, I don't like your crap that you're watching. Like, no, watch it for yourself and leave me the hell alone. East Austin says, if you listen to the end of the video, it has another body cam clip. There's an audio of a female police officer preparing to arrest. Wow. Before the plane even landed. Think about that. That's scary, right? That's scary. And for what? With all these witnesses and stuff, why were they preparing to arrest Porsha in particular? Right? A menace to society, indeed. Becky's not here for Porsha. The Karen sounds like the one, afraid for my life when she shot through a closed door. Please get out of here. Anyway, listen, guys, I do have one more story I wanted to get to before I signed off for the day. Listen, I went crazy Black Friday shopping today. I bought a TV. It's a smart TV, you guys. And it's one of those smart TVs with like the backlighting. So like when you're watching something, like the lighting on it changes according to the scene you're watching. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Let me buy one. And because I don't really have like a space to put a TV, I bought one of those stands I kept seeing on TikTok. I didn't buy it on Temu. I bought it on Amazon. But I bought that too. And I think I got one of those like new Alexas, because I have one and I love it so much, but I need another one for my living room. I'm going to put it somewhere here or on the other side. I have another one of this on the other side. So I'm really excited about all that. And I want to go get some more gel polish as well and pick up my package, y'all. It's a busy day. So let me get into this final story for y'all, okay? I wanted to talk to you about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. I finally got to watch that episode that I wanted to catch up on. First of all, this is my first time watching this season. I got to say, Manon is so aggressive. Like, her temper is insane to the point where it's almost scary. Like, her husband seems really sweet, really patient and stuff, but like, she seems like a really, really difficult person. And so I am concerned for him. Like, blink twice if you are okay. Jenny, by the way, this episode, when they set up that family, like, what is it, like a coffee shop, whatever it is, and Jenny's one job is to make the damn coffee, and she couldn't even do that. She's trying to make coffee, but the coffee thing isn't even plugged in. And so the customer has been standing there for minutes on end, waiting for that damn coffee, and the coffee machine is not even plugged in. And so he's really like gentle in the way that he speaks to Jenny, which I find to be really cute. So he's like, oh, like the customer wound up leaving after giving a lot of time, being incredibly patient. And so Smeet's like, Jenny, maybe next time, like you can go a little bit faster. This, like, just nicely telling her, do not lose us any more customers, please. Right. And Jenny threatens to go home. I was like, girl, please, please listen. Do not be too, quick to fly off the handle here. Now there's something that really actually creeped me out here, I have to say. This Dylan guy. Dylan is a younger man in a relationship with an older woman named Patya. And I have to say that it is so strange that he is telling her things on behalf of his mom that his mom never actually said. So Dylan has given her a complex about her age and their age dynamics in their relationship on the basis that he told her that his mom thinks he should get with a younger woman who he can have kids with. And so that's why Patya doesn't really like his mom. So she confronts his mom about it. And his mom is like, wait a minute, I never said that. Like, that's why you don't like me? I don't give a crap if I have grandkids or not. Like, I'm living my damn life. And so Patya, she's so shocked. She's looking over at her boyfriend or whatever, like, but you told me that. And then he's telling her, no, I didn't. Like, you're misremembering, or maybe you're making that up, but I never said that. And so it's just really weird. They're all trying to get to the bottom of how she came to this conclusion, but it's very obvious that he purposely told her that to like make her feel insecure and to not leave him, even though they keep breaking up 10,000 times. And so again, to her, he's claiming that he doesn't know how she came to that conclusion. He never said that. But then when the producers asked him if he actually did say that, this psycho, he smiles. He's like, yeah, like I might have said that to her, like in the heat of an argument. So you know that you said that to her. You see how distressed she is and how hurtful that was to her, but you're not going to own up to it. You're going to try and convince her that she's crazy instead. Scary. I think that this person is a scary person to watch. I'm actually surprised that he's not out dating a 17, 18-year-old, right? He's running these games on a woman older than him, which is very, very fascinating, right? About the psyche of this sort of a person. Even his eyes give me American Psycho. I'm sorry, y'all, but this guy gives me the heebie-jeebies. And then there was something else that really put me off to him. So they're having dinner, and it turns out that they are eating kangaroo meat. Mind you, he is Australian. I guess this is what y'all are eating over there in Australia. Kangaroo meat, emu. I'm just saying that because of Housewives of Potomac. Who's eating emu? But he feeds this to her, despite the fact that she specifically asked him not to make her eat kangaroo meat. She says, I could never eat it. Like, I see these animals as so cute, so sweet. Like, do not feed me that. So he's like, oh, I'm going to make you a surprise. So he has her eating dinner with his mom and his friend. And mind you, he had been lying to this lady about his mom's opinion of her and their relationship, right? So she's finding that out for the first time. And then on top of that, she's also finding out by accident through this guy's mom that he had been secretly feeding her kangaroo meat. This guy is creepy, you guys. Like, he's really, really creepy. I do not think that this is a good person. I think that this is a really, really, really diabolical person. I really do. Pretty strange stuff, right? Just saying. Theo, aren't they amazing? I am so excited. Mind you guys, you know how much I paid for my TV on Black Friday, y'all? I only paid like 100 and I think like 40 euros for it or something like that. I said, yup, add to cart. Let's go. Bow wow meme. Ramster says, oh, Ramster, nice to see you, by the way, boo. She says, bonjour, bonjour. I'll join the playback posse later. Nice. On a trop hâte de te retrouver là-bas. He says, hey, Grace, going back to rewatch from the start. Love that. Welcome to the playback posse. Claire says, if I started 90 Day Fiancé, which season would you? Oh, the first. Oh, to be able to watch the first season of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days again. That was incredible. The first few seasons are the best seasons. You are so lucky. You are so lucky, Kalia. Oh my God. It is amazing television. Kelly says, I wondered if the focus on Porsha was also because she's connected to Simon, who's been deported in the current environment here in the US. Ooh, tea. I never even thought about it that way, but you really never know. Ramsey says, Manon, elle est horrible. She really is insupportable. Vraiment, genre, she's so insufferable. Jenny and her coffee machine, LOL. Jenny wants just, and that's the thing. Like, how are you living all the way over there and you're still working so hard and struggling to make it? Like, what was she doing with her retirement money this entire time? And exactly, Ali, this feels so cruel. He's a cruel person and he gets off on inflicting cruelty to this woman. He doesn't like her. He hates her and he just wants to be as cruel to her as possible. And he gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know what he gets out of it other than like narcissistic supply or something. And that's what I thought, Shelby. I have seen them square up with a lot of men on those TikTok videos and whatnot. So it's funny that she sees them as these sweet and cuddly animals when they are, you know, they're not afraid to fight. Australia, yes. You know, he probably didn't even cut that kangaroo meat on the bias, Ramster. Clea says, I was just watching clips on YouTube a lot lately, and I was curious. I'll add it to my list. I'm also watching Chicago Med. I love that. You are going to fall out over the OG 90 Day Fiancé. Some of the most amazing reality television ever made. Anyway, listen, y'all, I got to wash my dishes quickly and head out. Try and get some of this Black Friday shopping done. I do also have to, what was the other thing I wanted to do? I have to pick up this package. Oh, that package pisses me off so bad. They never even attempted to deliver it to my house. Laisse tomber. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of The Morning Report. As usual, I had a fantastic time chatting with you, and I'm looking forward to being back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk more about the day's hottest stories. Oh my God, I'm sending you so much love, Gwen. She's got her father's memorial this weekend. Oh my God, sending you so much love, prayers, and strength. By the way, Ginger, thank you so much for signing up to become a channel member as well. And I wanted to wish Melissa a happy birthday one last time before signing off. She's going to the casino with her husband. Listen, winner, winner, chicken dinner. I hope you win a lot of money, girl. I hope you get rich. Anyway, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning, okay? Bye.